In this weekly Forex forecast, we're going to look at the EURUSD, GBPUSD, NZDUSD, and lastly, we're going to look at the USDZAR. Welcome to my channel. This is Marco Market FX, and let's get into it. Well, this analysis will be based on three phases. The first phase, we're going to look at the technical analysis, and we're going to look at the second phase, we're going to look at the COT report, and the last phase, we're going to look at the news ahead of the week of 21 to 25th of July. So let's start by looking at the EURUSD, and let's start by doing the technical analysis on these pairs, on these four pairs I've mentioned. The EURUSD, as you also know from our previous month, our previous video, the EURUSD, where we are buying the USD and we start buying it since the 1.04, and we're still bullish on this pair till to the 120. That was our main take profit target. And why were we bullish on this pair? This was because of the macroeconomic approach between these two currencies, the euro and the USD. Let's say two countries, the eurozone and the USD. So currently the eurozone has 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 been up since then compared to the dollar, and this also affect the market trends, also affect the market movement, guys. The macroeconomic approach leads to the direction of the price movement in the market. So we are still looking for an uptrend on this pair, but currently right now the market is doing some retracement, and we are looking for retracement until to the area of 1.14. This was going to be a retracement 1.14. Here's where we're going to be looking for a retracement 1.14, whereby price right now is 1.16. So what we're looking for this pair, we're looking for a retracement until here. 1.14. When price comes back 1.14, this is going to be a good entry zone price where we are going to buy it until to 1.20. That is going to be our area. I'll take profit area on the EURUSD, guys. So we are still bullish on this pair, and we'll continue going to be bullish on this pair. See, we are looking price. This is a good area for a buying opportunity. We are going to go until to 120. So we are continue being bullish on this pair. This is a technical analysis. So what I'll like you this week to wait for retracement. Price will come and retrace our zone. Just be patient. Things will play themselves, and we'll look at the COT report. Why I'm saying that this week there's going to be a retracement on this. There's going to be a retracement on this pair here. This pair, as you know, the USD is among the pairs which are traded a lot in the market. So this is what will happen on this pair. You have to wait for the price to come back until the zone I've told you 1.14. Let's take a look at the other pair. Our second pair which we're going to look at today, we're going to look at the GBPUSD. The GBPUSD and the USD, the same scenario, that the GBPUSD, you are looking for an uptrend. And why are you looking for uptrend? This is because of the difference between the economic policies, the macroeconomic approach between the two countries, the pound, the UK, and the United States. So that has led to the market, the pound to have a lot of strength compared to the US. So you are continuing looking to buy your position. And currently the market is at an area of 1.3424. 1.34.24. So what we're looking for price to come back along this area of 1.3282. This is going to be an area to watch. 1.3282. When price comes back around this area, this is going to be our entry price to our take profit price, which is going to be our entry price, our take profit target is going to be 1.4. We can say 1.40. This is going to be our take profit target on the pound USD. On the pound USD. So we're going to buy it from here until to 1.40. This is going to be our take profit target on this pair. While our entry target, we're going to look at 1.3282. So we're waiting for price to come back around this area. There's a dollar momentum in the market currently right now, so we're going to wait for price to come back around this area. When price comes back around this area, this is going to be a perfect entry for us to continue buying this pair until to 1.40. Okay, the third pair which we're looking today, we're going to look at the NZDUSD. The NZDUSD, or some can call it the NZ dollar, US dollar, whereby this pair also, like the other pairs I mentioned, you're looking for long entries. This is because of the difference of the economic approaches between the New Zealand and the US. So whatever happens in the two countries, the different variation in the economic indicators between the two countries, this will also affect this currency movement in the market. So what you're looking for the USD, you're looking for buying positions. So our take profit target is going to be 1.62. It's 162 for 20. This is going to be a take profit target, whereby our entry point. Let's look at the entry point, guys. Now Our entry point, we're going to look for price come back and retest around this area of 0.59005. So we're going to wait for price to come back around this area. When price comes back around this area, it's going to be a buying position until to 0.06241.5. This is going to be our profit target on the ZDUSD. So we have to wait for price comes back around this area, and here is going to be a very good entry position around this area. A very good entry position that you're going to buy it until to the 0.62, whereby as I say this is the take profit target of this pair here. So we're going to wait price comes back around this area. Well, when price comes back around this area, as you can see, it's approaching our area. We're going to look for good positions around this area, and we're going to sell it until we're going to buy it until to the 0.62, as I said earlier. Lastly, today we're going to look at the South African rand. This is among the pairs which I've talked a lot, and I've made a special video about it. You can take a look at my videos, and I will keep a link on the bio for those who didn't watch this video. This is a good pair. First of all, this pair is a sell opportunity, and it's a long sell coming on this pair, and there's a lot of advantage of trading the USD South African rand. The first advantage is that the broker pays you. For those who don't understand the difference between interest rate between countries, the USD and the South African rand. Currently, the South African has an interest rate of 7.25%, while the USD has an interest rate of 4.25%. What does it mean? The South African has a good interest rate compared to the US dollar, meaning that South African bond have a good interest rate of return compared to the dollar. So this means that a lot of investors will run to, a lot of cash will be taken from the US and be invested to South African rand, because when investors they invest, they get a good return compared to when investing in the US dollar. So what will it mean to the market? First, this will mean that there will be a lot of movement to the South African. Means South African will have a lot of strength compared to the US dollar in the market. That is what has been happening in this pair. You see the market has been coming down. So, and we're looking at the macroeconomic approach between these pairs. Currently, the USD, you can look first at the GDP. South African rand has a good GDP, first quarter GDP compared to the US, whereby the US GDP is at a negative 0.5, meaning that it is a recession, which is not an official recession, because when the first quarter comes at the negative percent and the second quarter comes at negative percent, that is where we declare like it's at a technical recession, but not yet. But what is happening right now, South African has a good GDP compared to the US. You can look at the central bank policy, as I said, and other macroeconomic approaches. So for those who doesn't understand this I'll keep a link on my bio. You can take a look at the South African rand video, and those who understand between what's the meaning of interest swaps, where does the broker pay you, and also I have made a video about that, and you can take a look in my bio. I'll keep the link. So what am I looking at the South African rand? Let's get back to the technical analysis. What am I looking at the South African rand? I'm looking to sell this pair, and I'm continue selling this pair. I've said a long time, and the price has been played well. So what you're looking at, you're looking to continue selling this pair until you take profit target of 17.73. Here, this is going to be a take profit target. Currently, right now, the price is at 17.69. This zone here, whereby now there's a lot of liquidity around this zone, because traders will look left without knowing without understand the macroeconomic approach within these countries. Traders will look left and look here, saying they will say whenever price came back here, it's an uptrend. So there's a lot of buying position around these areas, and there's a lot of stop losses around areas like this, down areas around here. There's a lot of stop losses around areas like here. So what traders will do, there's a lot of buying here, yeah. There will be a buying pressure around this area, a lot of some buying pressures to convince the traders, and a lot of liquidity will be added, and then boom, stop loss will be taken and off to a take profit target. So here's what I'll tell you to wait. For those who miss an entry around here, price will come back at this area. So I want you to wait. Price for a retracement around this area here of of, of 18.1564.7, around this area here, where traders will be looking, where traders will be complete that is in the buying opportunity, and they'll look left, they'll see things like this, things like this. So what they will be expecting, they'll expect a movement like this. Here, price to come back. Here, they'll say it's an head and shoulder. Here, and what they'll be expecting here, they'll be expecting something like this. But a lot of trust will be taken around here, and stop losses will be taken here. So this you have to wait for the price to at the price of 18.5664, whereby prices will be taken and up to a take profit target of 17.23. Guys, the South African rand is a very good pair. It's a very good pair. It pays interest rate swaps compared to the EURUSD, whereby you pay the broker, the GBPUSD, whereby you pay the broker, and the ZDUSD, you pay the broker. So you kind of hedge because you depend the broker trading this other pair. So you trade South African rand, whereby the broker will pay you. So the capital which will be taken from account from paying the broker on these other pairs I've mentioned, it will be covered by the USDZAR. This is called interest swaps. So as a trader, you must understand and you must know the right platform of trading. Don't invest your money in platforms that are not regulated. So this is I'm done with the technical analysis. Let's get to the second part of the videos whereby we're going to look at the COT data. The COT data is the commitment of traders where look at the large speculators. What I mean by the large speculators, I mean the large banks, how they place their liquidity in the market. These large banks, we tend to follow the large banks because they have the large liquidity in the market and they are the market players. They play a large percent of the market, but you must first understand the macroeconomic approach because these large banks do things from the macroeconomic approach. That's why I say you must trade like a bank, you must think as a bank. So large speculators, which is the green line. So let's start looking at the euro. This week, you're looking at the euro, whereby this week they continue buying the euro. See, they continue buying the euro, but not they're not buy, that buy a little, but they continue going up. You see, from here that was going up. That's what see also the euro was an uptrend. From the large speculators were up on the euro since March of 7th, 2025. See, they are up. So what happened in the euro? That's why also the euro is still going up. You see, it's going up. It's going up. This likely took place also in the charts whereby the euro was also going up. Also, the euro is also going up. Due to that, the large speculators are going up. And why were the large speculators going up? They have followed the macroeconomic approach, guys. When you know the macroeconomic approach is going to be a very good indicator for you. So you see, the euro is being moved since March of 7. Let's find March 23, March 23, March, around here, March, February, March, 4th of March, see 7th of March, see around here, the large speculators were being buying. So look what happened. So the price of euro has also been going up. This is what also happened in the market, and they continue buying the euro, but they have increased their positions not that much. So as I say, we're expecting a slightly dollar pressure on the market. That's what will happen, but we are continue being bullish on the euro. That's why I say we are only looking for buy position on the euro. Let's look at the other pair. Let's look at the pound. Let's look at the pound. The pound futures, which you can call it, it's the pound. It's also the pound USD. So it tells you what the large speculators are doing at the pound. Well, let's look at the pound. Large speculators were bullish on the pound since I'm trying to look dates behind so as I can make you understand. Since the 28th of February, the last speculators were up since here. So what happened in the market? The market was going up, was going up. This is what will happen. Right now here they have reduced their long contracts, but they're still long because they're above the zero and according to the macroeconomic approach between the pound, this is going to be still a long contract, a long contract. So they have reduced their pressure. That's why their contract does see a strong dollar in the previous week. Due to that, they have reduced their positions, but they're still long because they're above the zero. So what we expect in the market? That's why I said this week we're expecting a likely push to the downside on the pound, as I said earlier. Okay, let's take a look at the other pair. Let's take a look at the New Zealand dollar. Then the guys, you must know what the large speculators are doing in the market. First of all, you must understand the market from the economic perspective. When I mean the economic perspective, I mean the macroeconomic. Let's look at the NZD. NZD, yes, you see NZD, they were short. You see, all this time they were short, and then they reach maxed out where they start buying. Slowly they start buying. That's what you see some buying pressure on the NZD. They start buying. You see, also in the market, the NZD was going up. The NZD was going up. So the official long, the above the zero, the official long of this pair. See, and just a few weeks ago, from June 20th of June, they start buying the official long, so official long contracts on the pound futures. So what will it mean the market? A big upside on pound is coming. That's with the price of of pound is going up, so that's why it's going up. Likely there's a lot of consolidation, but it's continue going up. What did they do last week? Last week they slightly reduced their pound, their NZD long. That's when the market will consolidate around this area. That's what will happen. You that produce their long, but they're above the zero, which means the official long. That's also in the market. There will be a long upside coming, as I showed you in the euro, as I showed you in the pound. This is what will happen to the NZD. So that's why I said the NZDUSD. We are continuing buying the NZDUSD. Yeah. Let's look at the let's look at the USD index. Let's take a look at the USD index. We have looked at the pound, we have looked at the USD, we have looked at the euro. Also, all these things show that there's a long uptrend coming. There's a long uptrend coming. So, guys, there's no way you can sell this euro. There's no way you're selling this euro. There's no way you're because the market have showed you everything. The market have showed you everything. So what you have to do is follow the market. But you cannot just follow the market. You must look at this, must also look at its price movement, guys. You must look also at its price move, what has happened to the market. You must know what are the weekly news ahead of this pair. You must consider a lot of things when looking at pairs like this. You must consider a lot of things when looking at pairs like this. So let's take a look at the USD futures. While it's continue opening, let me explain to you more about the economic policies, guys. As I told you, you must understand the full economic policy. Okay, let's get into it. This is the USD index, whereby the USD index, they are short, they are official short. You see, they have been short since official short since since June of 16th, and right now this weekly year they have reduced their short. They have reduced their short slightly, but they are below zero, which means they are official short. You see when they are short, you see they were maxed out, they are long here. When they start shorting this pair, see also what happened in the market was going down. And what is continue happening at the official short below the zero means there will be a lot of pressure. People are selling, the large speculators are more selling the dollar, which means that a lot of liquidity will be on selling the dollar. When the dollar is buy, when there's a retracement of buying means just a normal retracement happening with the hedge funds. But see, that's why there's a slightly up pressure. That's why I said there was. That's why you see these previous weeks. You see, these previous weeks there was a meaning there was a pressure on the dollar. The USD was going down. The GBPUSD was going down. The NZDUSD was going down. Just because in the market the large speculators were simply decreasing their short positions, but they're still below the zero, which means this still and now is still are still short on the dollar. So the dollar is still short. Let's take a look at the South African rand. South African rand. This is among the pairs I told you. Just take a look at them. What is happening in the South African rand? You see, guys, South African rand are still long. They're still long on the South African rand, the large speculators, and they've been buying this pair since March 19th. See what happened here? So we are still, that's why I say this South African rand is still, the USD South African rand is still still short due to the South African rand there. They continue buying this South African rand. Okay, let's take a look at the true USD index. What is happening to the true USD index? True USD index, they are short. You see, they start selling this pair since here. What price happened, they also look at the chart. Price was coming down. There was official short. You look at the chart. And currently this week they have slightly decreased their short positions. As we see, there's a lot of pressure on the dollar. But doesn't mean that this just a 3 to 4 weeks, a monthly strength. And what is happening to the debt right now, the tariff issue and all that. See a good there's an inflation report which came out this week whereby it beat the forecast, but still the Fed must act. There's a lot of things that's the macroeconomic approach. So that's why we're still continuing looking at that. Well, according to the weekly ahead, the next week is going to be you have to look at Thursday, whereby there's going to be a Euro policy announcement, and these are the news which will be given on Thursday. On Thursday, there's a PMI, flash PMIs. These are news. I want you to take a look at them. So, guys, thank you for watching this video and continue watching videos. These are my other videos coming. I'll be dropping videos about the stock market. I'll be dropping videos about the forex market and how to understand this market from a perspective view, from a macroeconomic perspective view. You must learn how to align with the big banks, what they are doing, and don't forget to watch my other videos. And please don't forget to share this video. Let's grow this community, and don't forget also to like this video Subscribe to my channel, guys. You must grow this community. This is a community which will enlighten a lot of people concerning the market. You don't have to look at support or resistance. There's many things to look at. So thank you and have a great trading week.